When we scroll through Instagram, we see an endless stream of poses, from sultry stares to carefree candids. But beneath the filters, lighting and captions lies something more revealing, subtle psychological cues about who we really are. How you pose for Instagram may seem like a small aesthetic choice, but it can say a lot about your personality, confidence, emotional needs, and even how you want others to perceive you. Social media, particularly Instagram, has transformed how we express identity. With every pose, we're telling a story not just about our lifestyles, but about our inner world. Whether you're striking a power pose or hiding behind your phone, your choices are not random. They're part of a pattern shaped by personality traits, social conditioning, and self-perception. So today, we're going to dive into the fascinating psychology of Instagram poses. We'll explore what your body language says about you, the common categories of posing styles, and what these patterns might reveal about your underlying traits. By the end, you might look at your own photo gallery with fresh eyes. Let's start with the basics, body language. Body language is one of the oldest forms of human communication. Before we developed spoken language, we relied on posture, gestures, and facial expressions to convey meaning. Even now, most of our communication happens non-verbally. Psychologists estimate that over 70% of what we say comes through body language. So when you pose for a photo, you're not just showing off your outfit or location, you're sending a message, whether you realize it or not. Let's begin with the confidence stance, a pose where someone stands tall, chest slightly out, shoulders back, often making eye contact with the camera. This pose signals self-assuredness. People who adopt this pose regularly tend to score higher in traits like extroversion and openness. They're comfortable in the spotlight and often enjoy being seen as leaders, influencers, or bold personalities. This is often referred to as power posing, a term made popular by social psychologist Amy Cuddy. Even if someone isn't naturally confident, assuming a power pose for photos can act as a psychological amplifier, making them feel more dominant or in control. So the next time you see someone striking that stance on Instagram, it could reflect both an internal state of confidence or a desire to project that image to the world. Now contrast that with the demure pose, shoulders angled, eyes looking away, limbs tucked in, often with a soft smile or expressionless face. This pose tends to convey modesty, introspection, or shyness. People who use this pose frequently might be more reserved, sensitive to social judgment, or drawn to aesthetics that emphasize subtlety. It's a form of self-presentation that says, "I'm here, but I'm not demanding your attention." Interestingly, the demure pose can also reflect a deeper emotional strategy. Psychologically, it can signal vulnerability or even a desire for protection. In some cases, this pose can be used to attract empathy or connection. It's common among people who have a high level of self-awareness or are navigating feelings of insecurity in social spaces. Another category is the candid pose, a seemingly spontaneous moment where the subject is caught mid-laughter in motion or looking away from the camera. These poses are meant to convey effortlessness, but often they are anything but accidental. Candid photos are frequently staged, rehearsed, and carefully selected to appear unposed. Why? Because being effortlessly beautiful or naturally joyful is a desirable trait in the digital age. People who favor candid poses often value authenticity, or at least the perception of it. They may want to come across as relatable, down to earth, or in the moment. This is common among individuals who reject overt self-promotion but still care about how they're perceived. Candid posing can also reflect a rejection of traditional narcissistic norms associated with selfies. It's a statement, "I'm not trying too hard," even if they are. Let's talk about facial expressions next. One of the most psychologically loaded choices in an Instagram post is the expression you wear. Take the classic smile. A genuine smile, known as a Duchenne smile, involves the contraction of both the mouth and the eyes. It signals joy, friendliness, and trustworthiness. People who smile with their eyes are often seen as more likable and emotionally intelligent. On the other hand, a posed or restrained smile, where only the mouth moves, can come across as guarded or artificial. Then there's the pout or duck face. Though often ridiculed, this pose has roots in evolutionary psychology. Emphasizing the lips and cheekbones draws attention to features associated with attractiveness and youth. The pout can signal flirtation or sexual confidence. People who use it frequently may be high in traits like extroversion and self-consciousness, particularly regarding physical appearance. They might also be more likely to use Instagram as a form of identity curation or validation seeking. Now consider the serious face. No smile, direct eye contact sometimes with a furrowed brow. This pose is meant to project intensity, depth, or intelligence. It's often favored by those who want to be taken seriously, whether as artists, professionals, or thinkers. People who use the serious face may score higher in conscientiousness or neuroticism, reflecting a deeper concern with how they are perceived. It can also be a shield, a way to look composed while avoiding vulnerability. There's also the mirror selfie, a unique subgenre. It often includes the phone partially covering the face, body angled, and outfit fully visible. This pose allows for a degree of control. It's one of the few poses where the subject is also the photographer. People who prefer mirror selfies often value autonomy and may be more self-focused or analytical. They tend to be planners, curating every detail of the image from lighting to angles. But posing styles aren't just about individuals, they're shaped by cultural forces. Social norms play a huge role in what poses are considered attractive, cool, or acceptable. In Western cultures, direct eye contact and open body language are often associated with confidence and leadership. But in many Eastern cultures, subtlety, humility, and indirect expressions are preferred. The poses people choose often reflect the values of their social environments. Even within the same culture, trends evolve. What was once cool, a stiff pose with a peace sign, is now replaced by casual, effortless aesthetics. The rise of the Instagram aesthetic has also normalized certain poses. Think of the hand in the hair, 1 foot forward, sitting on the edge of a curb, or sipping coffee while staring into the distance. These poses are part performance, part identity construction. They draw from visual storytelling, often mimicking magazine editorials or lifestyle blogs. People who lean into these poses tend to have a strong aesthetic sense, possibly creative or visually oriented. They're also often influenced by what garners engagement. If a certain pose gets more likes, it becomes a subconscious cue to repeat it. Now let's consider gendered differences in posing. Studies have found that women are more likely to tilt their heads, cross their legs, and use asymmetrical body language in photos. These poses are associated with warmth, approachability, and attractiveness. Men, on the other hand, tend to take up more space, standing wide, arms spread, shoulders squared. These poses are linked to dominance, strength, and status. These patterns are not just biological. They're reinforced by years of social conditioning about how men and women should present themselves. However, as gender norms shift, so do posing styles. More men are embracing softer, introspective poses, while many women are opting for power stances. These shifts suggest a broader change in how people express identity, moving away from rigid binaries toward more fluid self-presentation. Another fascinating pose is the group shot. In a group photo where you stand matters. People who gravitate toward the center are often more dominant or socially influential within that group. Those on the edge may be more reserved or feel less connected. Even body orientation matters. If someone leans in, it suggests affiliation and comfort. Crossing arms or turning slightly away may indicate discomfort or ambivalence. Also, pay attention to repetition. If someone repeatedly posts similar poses, same head tilt, same smile, same angle, it can indicate a preference for control and predictability. Repetitive posing is often tied to self-image stability. It can also reflect perfectionism or anxiety about how one is perceived. On the flip side, people who experiment with poses, locations, and expressions tend to score higher in openness and creativity. Let's not ignore the absence of posing. Some people post rarely, or when they do, they avoid appearing in their photos at all. Instead, their feeds are filled with landscapes, books, objects, or pets. This doesn't mean they're antisocial. Often it reflects a preference for privacy, introspection, or a desire to express themselves through means other than appearance. These individuals may be highly thoughtful with a strong inner world that they're less inclined to externalize. Interestingly, your pose can even reflect your current emotional state. Studies show that people experiencing low moods are more likely to display closed body language, arms crossed, heads tilted down, little eye contact. On the other hand, elevated moods lead to more open, expressive poses. So your Instagram archive might double as a visual mood journal if you look close enough. Lastly, we need to talk about intent. Why you post can be just as telling as how you pose. Some people pose to document their lives, others do it to express creativity. Some post for validation, likes, comments, and social feedback serve as reassurance. There's no shame in that, it's part of being human. But knowing your why can help you better understand the emotional signals behind your behavior. In the end, how you pose for Instagram is not just about aesthetics. It's a mirror of your psychology. Every angle, smile, or glance away holds a thread of meaning. Understanding these patterns can help you gain self-awareness and even reshape how you present yourself. Your Instagram isn't just a highlight reel, it's a mosaic of choices that say something deeper about you, about what you value, how you see yourself, and how you want others to see you. So the next time you strike a pose, ask yourself, what am I really saying with my body? What story am I trying to tell, not just to the world, but to myself? And just like that, Instagram becomes more than an app. It becomes a window into the psychology of everyday life. What's your signature pose, and what do you think it says about you?